Hey everybody, Jeremy here. So I want to make this video about Friday. Okay, so one thing that I just wanted to say, if you're a sales rep prospecting or you have a team of sales reps who are prospecting, a really good subject line to use for cold emails, or even if it's even if it's an email you're sending somebody further on in the funnel, um, maybe they're starting to go a little dark on you or whatever. Use the subject line before the weekend. Okay, if it's a Friday afternoon, okay, or even if it's earlier in the day, really anytime Friday, especially if it's a Friday afternoon, I use that subject line before the weekend because it's going to pique the prospect's curiosity. They're going to be thinking, oh, interesting. What do I got to do before? What is it that I got to do before the weekend? Because they're thinking to themselves, they're looking at their calendar. What do they got to do? They're looking at the time. Is it almost 5 o'clock? So they're thinking, well, what am I? And it also is a subject line that doesn't just scream sales email. I've had pretty good success with using that subject line if it's a Friday afternoon before the weekend. Just don't everybody use it or it won't work as good for me. Um, Another thing that I just want to say about Fridays is make those dials. Don't phone it in, pun intended. Get it? Don't phone it in. No, you should be on the phone Friday afternoons. I've had some of my best success cold calling on Friday afternoons. I still remember a few years ago, the very first month that I ever hit quota as a BDR. I got that last meeting. I think my goal was like one meeting a day that I had to book. And so depending on how many business days there were in the month, if there was 21 business days, I had to book 21 meetings. And I think it was either 21 or 22 that I got that month. The 22nd, the one that got me to quota was when I made one more call. If you've read the book, Fanatical Prospecting by Jeb Blount, he says make one more call and before you stop that day's work. And it was a Friday afternoon, 5:30. I made that dial at 5:30 on a Friday because I was staying late. I only need one more. I was one away from hitting quota. And that was the first time I had ever hit quota as a BDR. And I was so pumped about doing it. So make those dials, even if it's 5:30 on a Friday. They could still pick up. They're probably wrapping up their day, and still working a little bit. A lot of people work until 6 o'clock. Sometimes people work even later, but I won't call people after 6. I'll call people up until 6 p.m. But I won't call them after 6. But many people work from 5 p.m. till 6 p.m. So still make those dials. Another company that I worked at, the one right before when I was at Lead IQ, we actually got like a decent amount of like inbound leads where sometimes people would call the phone number on the website. So whatever number you go on the website, talk to sales. If they were inquiring about sales, they might email us or they might just call us directly. So those went to me and the other BDRs. So I had one where it was like, again, I think it was like 5:30, 5:45 even on a Friday afternoon. And I didn't just pack it up. I didn't just pack up my things and go home on at 5 o'clock on a Friday. I was still there at like 5:30, 5:45. And then somebody called our inbound sales line and I picked up because I was the only rep that was still in the office. And I answered the phone. And, it wasn't just like a straightforward, like, oh, yeah, they're interested, book a meeting. Like, they had a bunch of like pretty technical questions and some objections I had overcome. And it was actually a really good account, too, a really good company for us to work with and a good use case. So it turned into a really good opportunity for us. And I think the deal even closed within like a few months after that. But I wouldn't have booked that meeting. I wouldn't have got it if I packed it in. And if I wasn't still in the office. So don't phone it in. Still make those calls even on a Friday afternoon. And the last thing I wanted to say, ending this, don't say happy Friday. Okay. If you say happy Friday, whether you're talking to a prospect or somebody internally, that implies that you hate your job. Not necessarily, but like, kind of implies that you just are looking forward to the weekend and you just can't wait for the work week to be over. So it's almost like you don't even really like your job, especially if it's prospects or even internally. If you're talking to your boss or anybody else, you want to put out that impression that you are pumped up and enthusiastic and excited about your job and your company and what you're doing and what you're building. So I mean, if so I say don't say Happy Friday, or if it's Thursday, oh, I know some people be like, if it's a Thursday, oh, we're one more day, we're almost to Friday. Again, all that stuff, it implies that you're not excited about your job and your company and what you're building. So I mean, unless the prospect says that, if you're talking to somebody, a prospect or someone internally, and they say Happy Friday, then okay, yeah, say it back, and then like maybe talk about like build some rapport and talk about what you're going to be doing that weekend, to build some rapport and commonality with the person. All right, that's it. That's all I got here. That's my Friday spiel for all of you on LinkedIn. Thanks for watching, and happy selling out there. Hope you have a great weekend. Take care, buddy.